Hey, how's it going, guys?
And today's video might be really special to you, like always anyways. But today it's actually something special, because today in this video I am going to show you top 3 high-end PC games playable on low-end PC on lowest settings on 25 to 30 frames per second, which is considered playable for a 60Hz monitor. These games actually require a high-spec PC. However, for some reason you can still play those games with a PC lower than its official minimum system requirements. I am not sure if your PC can run this, because I have seen some cases where games run smoothly on one PC and not on other, in spite of having the same system specifications. So I highly recommend you to look up for benchmarks on YouTube. So before we get started, I want you to like this video. Yes, you. Because some people just watch the video and just leave without showing any support. So please like the video, as it shows how much you love this video in form of numbers. So now let's get started. After the intro,
let's roll.
3, 2, 1.
On number 3 spot we have Mad Max. And believe me or not, this game works on 2GB RAM with the dual-core processor on averagely 25 FPS on lowest settings. Mad Max is an action-adventure game set in an open-world post-apocalyptic environment, emphasizing vehicular combat, in which the player is the eponymous Mad Max. According to its publisher, up to 60% of the game focuses on driving. Some weapons and tools, including flamethrowers and turbo boosts, are mounted directly onto the magnum opus, while others, such as a grappling hook and sniper rifle, are used in conjunction with the vehicle by Chum Bucket, Max's assistant, or Max himself. Max's magnum opus, with its V8 engine and powerful ramming ability, can destroy enemies' vehicles and weaponry. When simultaneously driving and aiming, the game changes to slow motion, to allow the player to toggle between targets. Although Mad Max primarily uses a third-person perspective, the player can switch to first-person view when fighting enemies while driving the magnum opus. Chum Bucket repairs the car when instructed to do so or when the player exits. To encourage exploration, the magnum opus can be upgraded with materials scavenged from the desert by hijacking enemies' cars or collecting their car parts. An enemy can jump on top of the magnum opus to make it explode, but the player can avoid that by surrounding the car with hazards such as spikes. The player can access the garage screen throughout the game, allowing them to customize the magnum opus. Max's garage can change and modify the car's engine, chassis, wheels, bodywork, paint job, and its shell. Upgrading one aspect of the car will negatively affect other aspects. Upgrading the engine will allow Max to drive faster, but handling will be more difficult. So definitely worth a try. On number 2 spot we have Ghost Recon Wildlands. This game does require a beast PC to run on its max graphics settings. However, you don't necessarily need to have a very powerful PC to run this game on low settings. In order to run this game you need at least 4GB RAM, with a good processor or a dedicated GPU. Any one good component is mandatory. If you don't believe me, you can look up for benchmarks on YouTube. This game can run on 4GB RAM with 1GB of NVIDIA graphic card, or 4GB RAM with Intel HD 620 GPU, and it was just running fine on average of 25 to 30 FPS. Ghost Recon Wildlands is a tactical cover-based shooter game set in an open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective with an optional first-person view for gun aiming. Players play as members of the Delta Company, 1st Battalion, 5th Special Forces Group, also known as Ghosts, a fictional elite special operations unit of the United States Army under the Joint Special Operations Command. It does not feature the futuristic setting used in Advanced Warfighter and Future Soldier. The equipment featured in the game is based on weapons and gear commonly used by military forces around the world. However, it features some original equipment, such as drones that can be used to tag enemies and show objectives. These drones have limited abilities until upgraded. The game is the first entry to feature an open-world environment, which consists of 9 different types of terrain, such as mountains, forests, desert, salt flats, and also introduces a dynamic weather system as well as a day-night cycle. Completing missions during daytime allows players to spot enemies easily, while completing missions at night grants players a tactical advantage, as the night offers players better concealment and easier infiltration due to some guardsmen being asleep. Players are tasked with making observations before carrying out missions. A variety of vehicles, such as dirt bikes, helicopters and dune buggies are featured in the game. When completing missions, players can reach the location where the mission starts through a variety of ways. Players can parachute from a helicopter, walk over land, or drive towards their objectives. The game takes place in Bolivia in July 2019. The country has become increasingly unstable as a Mexican drug cartel known as the Santa Blanca cartel gains control of several regions through the country. It features cooperative multiplayer mode, in which players can be joined by up to 3 other players to explore the game's world and to complete campaign missions. The game can also be played solo, in which the player will be accompanied by 3 teammates, which the player can give orders to. If a player wants a more lone wolf playstyle, they can be disabled via the settings. A competitive multiplayer mode has been released as part of a free update on October 10, 2017. It features an elimination type of game mode and a timed 4v4 match with revives. Players can level up through multiplayer gameplay, which enables them to improve the different class of characters available. Definitely worth a try. On number 1 spot we have Argo. This game is free to play on Steam. You can play Argo on 2 GB RAM with dual-core CPU with average of 25 to 30 FPS. Argo is a free-to-play multiplayer first-person shooter. Argo is set on a fictional island called Malden, the setting of Bohemia's previous game Operation Flashpoint. Cold War Crisis. Mercenaries are deployed to Malden by 2 rival factions and have to fight over the remnants of a crashed space station. The game is similar to Arma 3 but is less focused on realism and military simulation. The aim of this game is to take on the role of a mercenary and be contracted by one of 2 rival factions. Start out as a rookie operator and gain experience to unlock new weapons, attachments, and gear. Be deployed to the 62 square kilometers Mediterranean island of Malden, a modern reimagination of a classic Bohemia interactive terrain, ranging from dense urban areas to wide open plains and other unique points of interests. Malden features a variety of combat zones that have been built to provide an optimal experience for each game mode. Compete as part of a 5-man unit across 3 different competitive game modes. In Clash, 2 units battle over territory in a series of combat engagements. In Link, the objective is to capture a chain of points before the enemy takes control. Raid tasks 1 unit to find a data terminal while the other unit needs to defend the 3 possible locations. Team up with up to 10 fired guns, and fight against opponents in an open-world setting. Thanks to the randomized objectives and procedural generation of enemy forces, each session of combat patrol is different. Success depends on your ability to plan, work together, and adapt to new challenges. Definitely worth a try. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, and like the video, and I will see you the next time. With all due respect, love your parents, respect your country, stay home and stay safe, and most importantly take care of yourselves.